there we have it. 5 seasons done, and that is an entire calendar year. This is 18 months of Tea Time with Talent Acquisition and 1 full calendar year. I am so stoked to have so many of you join us every single week. I love taking part in this and hearing from the community, driving ideas from the guests that we speak with. Honestly, I'm taken away every time I speak to people. We're at events and people understand what we're trying to do. Even before I even say anything to them, they've seen my face or they've seen or heard something. It blows me away. So big thank you to every single one of you. Enough of that. Season 5, what a wrap up. Here's a little bit about what we've got coming up if you've missed any of the episodes.
One thing that I've come across a few times is when that hire manager collaboration isn't solidified from the offset, you have a lot of problems further down the line, and then you need to realign back on that. So again, it wastes a lot of time when it hasn't been done from the offset, which means you lose a lot of candidate experience, and this could result in some revenue loss potentially in some businesses, right? So it's always understanding what does that impact have.
Having more personable relationships with your stakeholders, in terms of like going for a coffee or getting out of, they don't just call you for the purpose of we need CVs or we spoke to this candidate, actually building a relationship with them and giving them insights, giving them your opinion of the market, giving them your view on what's going on, and also finding out theirs.
I think we're missing the point of hiring, which is a two-way street. It's still a lot of one-sided power games. That's how I see it. As a company, I'm still in the power game. I recruit. I make a decision to give you money. I make a decision if you're good enough or not. What I love most is when they say, oh, by the way, this time around not, but please keep checking our website for new jobs. I'm like, why don't you keep checking if I would fit one of your jobs? And that alone, just a very simple thing, shows that there is a power imbalance.
What are the best platforms to source people? Where are we finding those ideal personas or those ideal candidates for a role that we need to fill ahead of doing the actual work? Is for me the way that I think about sourcing in a strategic way. Sourcing is all about iterating your search and iterating the way that you're doing it, but combining this kind of information from a first place would definitely help you to be more strategic.
So, get rid of the imposter syndrome. You need to stand up for what you know best. You are the expert in the field, and you should be leading this process. So that's what I mean by standing to the managers.
Recruitment is not broken, right? It's definitely evolved, right? I think the industry's strengths currently, even compared to, especially compared to 10 years ago, TA is now seen as a strategic and integral part of any scaling business, right? Which I think is a strength in itself. We are now, as TA professionals, we are now truly elevated within a business and sometimes even part of the overall business strategy.
So just to skate through them, if you have missed them, you've missed out on crafting the perfect interview. You've missed out on sourcing strategies from a strategic level and then breaking it down to the granular, looking at specific methods to try and find those very hard to find candidates. We've had a look about the industry at large, if we're progressing as an industry. We've spoken about how the role of recruiters and talent acquisition is evolving and has evolved. We take a look at how we as TAs can stand firm to those very sometimes difficult hiring managers and how we can do that correctly. We talk about the transitioning period from provider to partner. We take a look at different models of recruitment from agency to internal to embedded to freelancing. And we talk about the most important element. Recruitment isn't broken. Despite what some popular individuals who have bought their way into a recruitment company have said this year, recruitment isn't broken. And you should be so proud of everything you achieved this entire year in talent acquisition. And I cannot wait to come back in season 6 when we have more guests, more opportunities, and some fantastic ideas. So thank you again and for being part of this podcast.